Give thanks and praise. Welcome back, dissidents. Gonna keep this one brief. I dressed for success on this occasion. Wearing my ceremonial robes. Woke up at 6:30 this morning with a wonderful revelation on this Fool card. I want to bring forward a lot of visuals on this clip to confirm a lot of my claims in the past couple videos. But I am so enthusiastic, as always, to share the North America and South America. That's a N-A-S-A. Nah, S-A. Are you telling me this is NASA? Are you telling me this is not a straight answer? I'm telling you this is NASA. Telling you North America, South America is NASA. They are in opposition to one another. It absolutely brings to mind the brother against brother from the Civil Wars. But as of right now, in the current geopolitical context, we're going to be looking at a much larger line in the sand. The civil strife is being affected on a larger scale. I focus on that 37-degree parallel a little too much. So that's NASA. That's North America, South America. That's North and South America. No matter how you say it, it's coming through. It's coming through. I'm going to bring some graphics to prove those words out. Okay. I want to talk about the Loyalists. I want to talk about Ignatius Loyola. I want to talk about You never see it. You never see it. You never see it. These fools are operating under the 33. They do not have the 3 and the 4 sussed out. They haven't figured out the mystery of the forgiveness of foregoing the 4th pillar of the quadrivium. They're running in circles, caught up in the 3. The performer, the perfectionist, the performer, the achievers, with this shadow of self-deceit. These shadows are not strictly external. So often they are internal. They are all double-edged swords. All of these are double-edged swords. They fall into every possible incarnation of meaning that you can extract from the word. All syllables are ready at hand. Deceit. Again, Uriel, deceit, Raphael, there's a switch. Eryximachus was in position 4. Aristophanes was in position 3. He deceits him. He switches places and tells him to hold his breath or tickle his nose with a feather so that Eryximachus can bring remedy to the offense that Pausanias made. The high hypocrisy that was laid to bear in that number 2. This transgressive number 2 position sure is getting a lot of negative feedback. I'm just going to say that. Very true to the prideful Lucifer position. More on that to come. I want to really focus on this 3 to the 6. I'm going to put the theory out there, and I'll stand by it as far as I can. I think that fear and deceit are not in the infernal realm because I think they are the methodology of Michael and Gabriel. I think that Gabriel speaks fearful words, and Michael is determined to deceit Lucifer, to take his place, to unmake him. He was the heavenly chorus. That's why there's the horn. This is where the horn is at. Cleo, the muse Cleo, has the horn. And in the A.nd card, there is always the horn of judgment. So all things about the horn are happening here around the giver with the shadow of pride and the infernal spirit of Lucifer. Michael slays Lucifer and takes that glory. I'm giving deceit as the tip of the spear for Michael. I'm giving fear, the tip of the spear for Gabriel. I want to talk about these loyalists. This has been the Apollonian loyalists who want to come together and form cities. They want to live in Babylon. They want their 15 man-nut cities. And there will be a byproduct of that city, and that will be those who live on the outer perimeter, the urbana. Urbana is a dark, this is Neapolitan, there it is, I missed a T. Neapolitan urban design leaves the dark ones, Urbana. She is a African goddess of high civic mindedness. They put them on the outer perimeter, much like the Matematikoi. The Matematikoi are those who live by the numbers. They live by the numbers. The people in the inner circle are the brotherhood. Take that hashtag and you move it in a just slight adjustment there. All right, so the loyalists, they love the city. They love university. This is really a fascinating series of lessons to ponder. In the symposium, this was an empty seat, but the muse of number 6 was Erato. Erato's implement, one of her signature artifacts, is the zither harp. The zither harp has its root in the island of Kathira. This is also a hub of the root of Catholicism. There is so much here. So the Loyalists are ignorant. They have no sense of the egg in Urania's hands. They don't know about geometry. They don't know what Urania is offering up. They will, you never see it. You never see it. Universe IT. Funny enough, IT is a 92, 9, 2, and Urania on the periodic table, 92. They will never see it. Urania, it was discovered by math. They are 2 rings here. I have to be very particular about the way I speak on this. There are those who follow the numbers. These are the social Socrates numberit. They are numbered, they believe, they live by the number. And then there is an inner circle, the akusmatikoi. They are very superstitious, and there are many mysteries in between. The outer circle of the matematikoi and the inner circle of the akusmatikoi. And many people who strive and put their entire life into the words and thinking linearly, they will never see the inner circle. They will never learn the glory of geometry as it relates to the angles of the angels of the heavens that are encoded in every single thing since the Greeks. And the Loyalists have hidden that away quite by design and at the highest possible price. The Muslims up here, they've got a real strong sense. They have a very strong sense. They have a intimate relationship with both music and also geometry. And they do not worship idols. They don't need a face. They don't need the shekel. They don't need the mask. They don't need the dead presidents. They don't need statues. They have a certain fluidity to their ways. And they venerate geometry because so much more can be conveyed in a flash with geometry. That is something to respect. That's something to appreciate. So I just wanted to bring this forward, and I want to talk, this is WW2, World War II. That's a 5x5 magical square Mars, WW, and they've done it twice. and they're coming up on number 3. They're hoping for a third. I want to mention the Black Guard. This was a decode we did with our boy George over on Third Eye Edify. Big up George for bringing this forward. Black Guard unpacks out of the word Harvard. Harvard is the most censorious institution there is in all of university. No S. There's no S. You drop the S. It's all one. It's all captured under these Loyalists. And I find that quite fascinating because the Black Guard was the nickname of Abraham Lincoln. He was a blackguard. He was speaking coarsely. He was using common tongue in a dangerous way. And when they called him a blackguard, they were also accusing him of, or not just him, but they were accusing the manipulations of the Pinkertons. And Abraham, he was actually, he was paralleling Joseph Smith, just like Crowley was paralleling Winston Churchill intentionally, by design, to parallel. That's actually a political ploy that they use very obtusely anymore. Abraham Lincoln was paralleling Joseph Smith, and Joseph Smith was like he was basically a really good excuse for expansionism to head west and for the population to boom at maximum capacity, because 3 or 4 wifeys for every man doesn't sound like heaven to me. People think that's awesome. That's a male bias. I don't think that's awesome. I would never, ever dare to invite more than one woman into my heart. Oh my God, what kind of doom are you bringing on your head, man? That's like Islam saying, oh, when you get to heaven, you're going to have 72 virgins. No fucking thank you. No fucking thank you. I'll go to hell. I'll go to hell instead. I want 72 women who don't know what they're doing. In the Norse, they would catch Muslims, and before they kill them, they chop off their dick so that they would be in heaven with 72 virgins and no dick to satisfy them. These things are horrible, but they're also pretty funny. Okay, so we got the Zithra, the island of Kathira, is the root of CIA. It's the 3 oceans. You'll never see it. You never see it. 3 oceans. Oh, the Caspian, the Ionian, and the Aegean. I think I did it off the top of my head. The 3 oceans that can be seen from on high, from that island. It is a strategic, a linchpin location with a very intricate history. I'm going to flash up a collage I put together. They're talking about blue shutters as a motif of the islands there. They're talking about lighthouses and all kinds of fascinating things. And almost every city on that island is an anagram, just waiting to unpack. I see the muses' names hiding out in all those anagrams. I think that island is a complete linchpin location. I'm not going to really unpack that very much, but I will flash some of my first pass work on what's going on the island of Kathira. I think we have found the original hub of the CIA, because they've taken the eye out of the creative, imaginative eye out of everybody in university. Therefore, you never see IT. I want to talk about the horns. This is the 126 of Jabril, the 783 of Michael, and the 549 of Raphael, and also Uriel. Something happened. This is Milton's Paradise Lost, which I know is not canonical, but something really fascinating has happened to Mammon in battle many times. He's been divided. He's been broken. This is the bank collapsing periodically in cultures. It's like he's the runt of the demonic realms, and that makes him the weakest. He's got his head down looking for treasure on the ground all the time, and he just gets blasted in battle because he ain't worth shit. So I'm bringing Raphael over here for remedy. We're looking for remedy. We're looking for true physicians. We're looking for true remedy. In the insurance industry has this whole thing trapped, locked in in a body cast. So we're going to put Raphael over here for a new sense of remedy from the angelic spirits. And I think that's, so these are called, these three trimes, the 1-6-2, the 7-8-3, and the 5-4-9, all of which add up and reduce to a 9. That becomes 999, which always is repeating back to the 9, self-referential. Those are called the Hornovingian groups. I'm going to flash that up so people can kind of see what I'm talking about. And the wording that they use, I think, is better than mine. It's aggressive, compliant, and withdrawn. It's the withdrawn I wish I had thought of yesterday. So aggressive, compliant, and withdrawn, which makes so much sense because Mercury and Venus were thought by the Greeks to be two different morning stars, which makes them unique and standing out, stand alone. Turns out they were both Venus in the end, which has a interesting collapse of the psychology of culture en masse around Venus, who I learned today, thank you, Davin, that she can be seen, her reflection is seen off the waters of the ocean. How vain is that? How gorgeous is that? She can admire herself off of the reflective surface. She is so fair. She's so fair. She's so fly. I love that. I love that. Big up, Davin. And Pluto, being the most removed of the withdrawn trines, Pluto is the furthest exterior jurisdiction. It is the governor, the giver, the plotter, the plow, the tiller, the wheel. It's the ultimate ring. So it definitely holds the number 9 position. Very fascinating how it all works out. All right, I think that's all I want to say. Oh, no, let's do this. We're going to go down the river Styx. I'm going to read a poem on my next run on the river Styx. This instinct division is blood-ridden. There's a great amount of blood here. And this is the original scar of the cosmos. This is the Olympus Mons. This is the great gash that is still perceivable on the soul of man. And we are repeating that trauma systematically so that we always remember. And we will always remember the battle scars of Troy. This is going to be where we pick up next. Enneagram 5555 17914 has all the ingredients we need to spell river in septenary. If we move the 1-4, we get the river. This is the river Styx. This has been the river Styx of instinct, drawing upon the great amount of learning that comes from war. A great amount of learning comes from war. And I see in fiction sometimes they say, oh, that war was for nothing. And then they just move forward because they feel comfortable not addressing what war is really all about. It's so disrespectful. People have no idea what's really going on. Enneagram is an anagram for the first word in the Iliad. Mania, rage. Mania is the word for rage. It is a lost form of love. It relates very powerful to fear. Mania is very powerfully correspondent to the tip of the spear. And it blows my mind that the Enneagram is pulling forth the translation from the first word of the Iliad, on which billions of years in university you never see it, you'll never see it, you'll never get Sophia. If you go to university, they spend all that time talking about the first word in the Iliad, and none of them found it like I did. And nobody came to it from this angle. And so we're going to take this angle. It's going to be very passionate. There will be a lot of feelings. It is hitting close to home. I mean, I don't like my name being so close to such nefarious characters. Satan over here, I got devils to the left of me. Satan's on my right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. All right. Don't get me started. The Hornavingian groups, Hornavian groups. Throne. There's a throne right there. We'll see what I come up with out of this, but that is actually, the thrones is the third level of the heavenly realms. Seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, and angels. All right, I'm going to flash some of these graphics up, try to prove out some of my words from my previous videos. Thank you everybody for hanging in there with me and being patient. And when we return, we will be addressing the Iliad, and we'll have quite a bit of poetry on offer. I hope you guys are excited. I sure am. Much love and respect.